this is Dr. G, and this is that Sunday. So, whenever I was finished my theology degree, I've been working in youth ministry for a lot of years, working with teens full time, and I thought I knew everything. Here's the funny thing: finished my degree in theology, have all this head knowledge, and I'm like, man, like I need to get it across to people and so forth. So one day, I'm on a retreat, and just some, it was powerful retreat and so forth. And I kept noticing this one young lady out of the corner of my eye and so forth. And she kept going and speaking with different people and so forth. And she was just, I saw her, basically she was just ministering to different people and just helping them out, her fellow teens and so forth. So at the end of the day, at the end of the retreat, I'm kind of like downloading with her. I was like, yo, what happened and so forth. And we start talking and so forth. And so she starts talking about just how sometimes whenever you're talking with somebody, this something will tell you if it's right or wrong. And I remember thinking, oh yeah, all my philosophical terms like the conscience, the active intellect from Thomas Aquinas and so forth. And I'm thinking of a way to, and I'm having this conversation in my head, Kevin Hart, don't judge me. But this little conversation like you should tell her this, and so forth. And I remember I'm like sitting there talking, I was like, yeah, that thing in your mind, that kind of, that's a way of just, of connecting. And she stops me dead in what it is I'm saying. She said, I've called that through the years. I'm like, what? And it was funny because she's just like, what I call that through the years? I'm like, what? She said, I call that little voice the Holy Spirit. And I remember looking at her and just being like, in my head, I was like, holy snap, that is so profound. She literally just taught me something. I mean, I had all this knowledge and she put it very, very simply. Now, for some of you, that may be, okay, yeah, duh. But for me, that was kind of like a aha moment. Like, wow, yes, that little conscience, what we would call in our Catholic theology, that conscience is the voice of the Holy Spirit. So what am I getting at? She taught me something. I learned a lot of stuff from my professors. I've had amazing professors, Dr. Michael Barber, some of the most influential theologians, Dr. Shervin, so forth. But she taught me something. I just want you to think about that. I remember just walking away from the conversation. I was like, yo, that was so profound. Like, that was a good way of putting it in layman's terms and so forth. I'm like, wow. So somebody who wasn't likely taught me something. That's sort of like what God does in salvation history. He uses the most unlikely people to teach us something. I mean, just go through salvation history. Look at Moses, stuttering in a basket and so forth, to lead his people out of captivity. David was a little 15-year-old boy, little rocks and so forth. God uses people. I mean, when we fast forward, St. Paul and so forth, just God uses the most unlikely people to teach us and so forth. So this is what I want you to think of today. Who are some unlikely people that have helped you in your own spirituality and so forth? And how can you be an unlikely person, a quote-unquote unlikely person to another person to help them grow? You guys have a blessed day.